Yes.
Jefferson.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our virtual Ward 4 town hall meeting this evening. We're so glad that everyone is here to join us tonight. We'd like to thank our Councilman Roger Gay for hosting this event. He always has done um, just exceptional service in bringing together the community so that we can discuss the events and issues that impacts our community. So we have a full agenda tonight. My name is Celissa Jefferson. I'll be your moderator. Um, for those who are logged into the Zoom link, just make sure that you keep your devices muted, as well as the people who are joining us through Facebook Live. You're going to have a chance to submit your questions or comments through Facebook Live. So let's begin with our community prayer from our pastor, Marjorie Dent.
Thank you, Ms. Jefferson. Good evening, Councilman Gay, the leadership and staff and citizens of College Park. And it's an honor to represent the Chaplains Department, the City of College Park Police Department. And so let us pray. Almighty God, of creator and sustainer of all creation, thank you for this evening's meeting and your divine presence among us. We meet tonight as citizens of Ward 4 and as family, neighbors, and friends under the leadership of Councilman Gay and his family. Father, we ask your blessings upon them, this city and its leadership. We pray and thank you for these, your servants, and the leadership of College Park, department heads and staff. As we proceed with the agenda, bless each participant with clarity of mind and vision and the strength to carry out the mission. For though the vision tarry, it shall surely come to pass. The vision for the city, especially the vision given to Councilman Gay for Ward 4. Your heart desires to see that all people receive proper respect and liberty. Help us to understand the needs of every person and shape legislation that demonstrate that we are all brothers and sisters and we're all walking on this privilege of life together. We know these are some turbulent times for all, and this requires our consciousness to know the needs of others. So help us to remember, God, that you are a covenant-keeping God, and that though things may change, times may change, you never change. We pray and ask that you bless our city, our law enforcement officers, firefighters, and first responders. Keep them safe and give them the wisdom to make the right decisions. Comfort grieving families among us and bless families everywhere. I pray in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus, amen.
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 Now we shall have our community welcome by Minister Stanley Muhammad.
Thank you very much. My name is Brother Stanley Muhammad. Peace be unto you all of Ward 4. I thank God for this wonderful opportunity to be able to help to serve, our wonderful ward under the wonderful leadership of our councilman, Roger Gay. And I want to just say that we all know that we're in some tough times, some difficult times. And this is a time that we all should come together and put aside any differences that we might have for the common good of our ward and our community. We can make Ward 4 a model example for the city of College Park. And 4 is a number of foundation. And Ward 4 can be a foundation for the other wards. If we can show that we are mature enough to put aside our differences and see the bigger picture, then we can not be an example just for the city of College Park, but all of Atlanta, all the state of Georgia, and all of the country. And so I close with these words from the Bible, the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 12, starting with the 12th verse. And Paul dealt with these diverse issues in the church and trying to get all these diverse minds to see that we're part of one single community. And this is what Paul said to the church, and I think is very relevant to Ward 4, this great ward that I'm blessed to be a part of, me and my family. Just as a body, though one, has many parts, but all its many parts form one body. So it is with Christ. For we were all baptized by one Spirit, so as to form one body, whether Jews or Gentiles, slave or free. We were all given the one Spirit to drink. Even so, the body is not made up of one part, but many. Now, if the foot should say, because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body, it would not for that reason stop being part of the body. And if the ear should say, because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body, it would not for that reason stop being a part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would the sense of hearing be? If the whole body were an ear, where would the sense of smell be? But in fact, God has placed the parts in the body, every one of them, just as he wanted them to be. If you were all one part, where would the body be? As it is, there are many parts, but one body. So I say to you all that we have many different groups in Ward 4, different diverse minds, but we are all part of one body. Don't ever exclude yourself from Ward 4 because you see yourself being different or not the same as your neighbor, or not see eye to eye with your brother and sister. Let us show that we can build a community that loves each other and looks out for each other in the great city of Ward, or Great Ward 4 in the city of College Park under leadership of our wonderful councilman, Roderick Gay. Thank you. May God bless us to have a wonderful dialogue, a wonderful town hall meeting. Thank you, Roderick Gay, for the opportunity. God bless you all.
God bless you too, Minister Muhammad. We really appreciate your endearing words, and those words really resonate in my heart. And I wholeheartedly concur with you. We coming together as a community, becoming stakeholders in our community and working as one. Because all of us make an impact. Thank you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we'll hear our crime update from our Lieutenant George Wilson.
How's everyone doing today?
Great, sir.
Great, good. Couple of things. We're going to see an increase in our domestics. The reason you're going to see an increase in domestics is everybody knows during COVID, people that would normally be at work or be out are in the house with each other. So our domestics are going to increase. Also, we've in Ward 4, we've also had a bike and a four-wheeler that were stolen. The guy was attempting to sell it, and when he let the guy test drive it, the guy just kept going. So that leads me to another thing. When you're trying to sell items online or to a person, if you want to meet up with them, come up to the police station. People are less likely to do stuff like that if they're at a police department. And if they don't want to come up to the police department, then you probably don't want to sell it to them. They're probably up to no good. I've just got off the phone with one of the detectives. We had that homicide over at Charlestown. It's not really going to be considered a homicide because it was going to be considered involuntary manslaughter. They were playing with a gun, and one of them was intoxicated, grabbed the gun by the trigger, and accidentally shot the other young man. So that's where that one's at. That's still being investigated, but preliminary is going to probably look more like an accident. We also see a slight increase on thefts. Again, this is the time of season. We're going into the holiday season. Don't leave things in your cars that when people walk by, they see them and it looks inviting to them, and they end up breaking out a window, or just we've had incidents where people actually pulled on door handles and people left their doors unlocked with items in their cars. So we definitely want to make sure that we're being safe and don't leave anything in your car of value. Once again, people are spending more time at home. So they're ordering stuff off Amazon, Walmart. With that being said, if you're placing orders, make sure you go into a reputable business like a Walmart or Amazon, because now's the time where you have a lot of fraud that's going on. And once you put that credit card number out there and it's not a savory site, now your credit card's out there, your personal information is out there, and you'll be a victim of fraud. And we're trying to make sure everybody avoids that. Like I said, be careful about giving out your credit card information. Make sure you give it out to reputable businesses. Now on the code enforcement end, I've had my code enforcement officers check the areas, check the yards. Our main priority is one of our main priorities is making sure that people maintain their property. That means cutting your grass, cutting limbs. We had an issue, people parking on their yards. That we can't have that. It's a violation of ordinance, and it's just unsightly. Okay, to be honest with you, it makes everyone else's home look bad when you don't take care of your yard. Moving forward, right now on community events, we've this month we're going to try to do something with the trunk or treat type of deal, where we try not to make getting contact. We're still working on it, but we're trying to make it so that the kids can still have a decent Halloween, but still keep the social distance and mask, and everyone with their masks on. But COVID's kind of shut a lot of things down. But hopefully, in the future, when we get everything under control, we can move forward and go back to having events and everybody coming out and having a good time. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Wilson. We really appreciate this update. Recently, I was, you know how I have Ring, and it gives you updates, and with Ring, they have different crime updates that takes place within adjacent to where you live. And they recently had mentioned there were 2 missing African-American young women. And we know that this has always been, is a situation that impacts our community. Can you give us some pointers how our young women and young men can keep themselves safe, or, during these times?
Okay. Number one, know your area. Be aware. Situational awareness is big. Okay. Don't go anywhere without letting someone know where you are. Keep in contact with people, your mother, your family, friends. Like I said, let them know where you're at all times. Be wary of going certain places. Just because you have a friend that lives on a sketchy side of town and you're friends with them, doesn't mean everybody over there is your friend. Mm-hmm. So just a couple of pointers. Just mainly be aware of your surroundings, and don't go anywhere that it's a little sketchy. And just because you have a friend over there doesn't mean everyone is your friend. Exactly.
Well, we definitely thank you for your words of advice and your tips, and we wish to congratulate the new officers that were recently hired, and we are a community that support our police. Thank you again. Next, we'll have Michelle Johnson with the our recreation director, to speak to us about our splash pad.
Hey, good evening, Ward 4 and Councilman Gay. How's everybody this evening?
Good evening. We're fine.
Good.
Thank you.
Well, good. So I'm super excited about the splash pad. If you could see, I'm glad we got a picture up there. So we were awarded $584,000 for the splash pad to be put in Phillips Park on September 2nd. And we went in front of Mayor and Council and got approval for the spot in the park, which would be at the top area, open field in the park. And so now we're moving forward. We're working on the environmental study from Fulton County to finish that process up, along with the contract and a notice to proceed. And then we will do solicitation for RFP for having the bid process go out for building the splash pad. And we're looking forward, hopefully, if everything go on board, for the spring and possibly summer of 2021, depending on COVID, because Fulton County has been, due to COVID, a little bit slower on the processes. But I'm hopefully looking forward to us being out there and enjoying this splash pad for the summertime. Any questions?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. You know, I greatly appreciate everything that you do. You know, because you have such a great impact on our youth and, you know, our future leaders in our community. I'm so excited
This
on
is going to be amazing.
splash pad development. I want to also thank a community stakeholder, Whitney Flemis. And if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong, I apologize. But Whitney, she had a vision for this splash pad to start, and working with our Councilman Roger Gay. You know, it is a tough uphill battle, but we're almost there. And I just can't wait until our children, our community, be able to enjoy this development. But we wish to thank Whitney and Michelle and all those that are involved, our Fulton County Commissioner, all those that are involved to make this happen. We truly appreciate what you do for the community.
Thank you. That's really sweet. I enjoy it. It's super fun. So thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me. And I'm going to rush back off to the police academy. So thanks y'all for having me this evening.
No problem. Thank you so much for joining us. Next, we'll have our school update by Kimberly Dove, District 6.
Thankful Thursday, Ward 4 and Councilman Gay. Thank you for allowing me this time to share an update. I will be sharing my screen.
Okay.
I decided today to use our website as a key focal point. One thing you'll notice is that when you come to our website, it has on the very main page a reporting for COVID-19 that is linked directly to the Fulton County Board of Education. This week, our students started a face-to-face every day into our building starting yesterday. The next thing I want to do is show you where on the board you can receive our information. You'll go to the board and enter the public website. Through that, we had our board work session on Tuesday, a couple of days ago, but I've taken the liberty of already pulling up the things I wanted to highlight. So in the area, we will be doing daily live instruction. As you may recall, or if you do not, we started with 1 day of a 90-minute instruction for K through 2. And then we had a 180 minutes for our special needs students. And then we went to a 2-day a week. And now we are at a 5-day a week face-to-face instruction. So through that, we increased our parent learning support for universal learning. Keep in mind, this face-to-face instruction is optional. It is not required. So families have the opportunity to select if they are going to send their school students back face-to-face, or if they are going to continue universal remote learning until the end of December. Our decision was made completely based on the data. What you'll find out is that in our zone, especially in zone 1, which would be our College Park area. Zone 1 is led by our Dr. Sharice Campbell. You'll see our total enrollment, the participation rate. And I want to say thank you, parents, for selecting your face-to-face manner for us. We only had 787 parents who didn't respond. If the parents did not respond, they were defaulted to a face-to-face instruction. We have about 48% remaining universal remote in Zone 1, and in Zone 2, which includes McLaren and Tri-Cities in our high school, they are at a 47.4%. Also, I mentioned earlier where you can go on our website to submit any COVID-19 reporting. The next thing I wanted to highlight was we talked about our opening matrix. All of our opening and closing is based off of the data that we receive from the Department of Health. On our website, anyone can pull this up. We pull it by actual city, and every city will see by weeks what those numbers are. And as long as those numbers continue to decline across the district, we end up coming back into a face-to-face or a closed down situation. So everyone keeps asking me about what does the school closing matrix look like. So the school closing matrix, we are going to be a level 1 if it's 1 to 2 exposure or 1 to 2 staff members. Level 2 would be 3 or more. And level 3 is where we would actually close down a site, a zone, or the entire district based off of the numbers that we receive. So you may want to know what are our numbers. And in College Park, the face-to-face instruction by College Park Elementary is 42%. And that entire list is listed on our website. I will be sharing this information through my newsletter. And if you would like to be a key communicator, please feel free to email me at dovek@fultonschools.org. And finally, every week, every Friday, we update our website with the number of COVID cases presented in Fulton County schools. So what you'll see is that you'll see all of the schools listed here and the number of staff that are positive and the number of staff or students that are quarantined. So this information is done weekly at the end of the week. We have our positive cases, and these are identified as employees or students who have received or reported to FCS a COVID-19 positive test, and direct contact quarantines. Those are the employees or students that have direct contact with another employee or student who has been deemed COVID-19 positive and directed to quarantine from work or school for 14 days. I'm sure you may have many questions about that, so I will continue. I would like to just let the community know as well is that we, the Board of Education, extended our superintendent, Dr. Mike Looney, contract for another 3 years. So this was his first review with Fulton County Schools. So I'm happy to say he will be with us until 2023. One of the things you always wanted to make sure that we had consistent leadership in the district. Also, Dr. Ethel Lett has been named the principal at Tri-Cities High School, which she will begin November the 2nd. And Dr. Lett has been very instrumental in the Tri-Cities area. She was a former vice principal of Tri-Cities before. So she feels like she's coming home and she's there to stay. Our next board meeting is going to be on Thursday, October the 22nd at 4:30 p.m. And that's listed at the South Learning Center and it's on the other side of Banneker off of Flat Shoals Road. And finally, again, if you would like to contact me and be a key communicator, you can email me at dovek@fultonschools.org, as well as follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, Kimberly R. Dove. And thank you so much, Councilman Gay, for this opportunity to share. I will stay here for questions.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. That was a wealth of information that we desperately need. Question for you. Well, twofold question. How are the students at the K-8 schools, as well as how are our students? You said there's 42% for the elementary. How are they becoming acclimated to their new normal?
So what I've heard, we are still receiving that data. They just started yesterday, right? So what we've been doing is, because we phased in this approach, we've been able to keep our buildings clean. We have a process in place. Our students are using their masks. We are strongly encouraging them to do that. And because we were able to phase in this approach, we had an opportunity to tweak things that weren't quite right, and make modifications to make sure that our teachers and students are safe. So right now, I don't have a complete answer for you, but I will tell you that from the time we started face-to-face, and those students who chose to come in have been doing a great job, and there's always room for improvement.
Awesome. Well, continue. Thank you. And we thank you for your service that you do. Again, just to want to reiterate, she said that the board meeting is October 22nd, and she's provided her contact information. Thank you again, Kimberly.
Thank you. And thank you, Councilman Gay.
Next, we'll have information from Blake Stoner with Vingo.
Good evening, everybody. Just waiting for the slides to be shared. Cool. Once again, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody can hear me well. Again, my name is Blake Stoner. I'm the founder and CEO of Vingo. Vingo stands for Various Angles, and it's a local reality news network based in College Park. Basically, we bring news for the people, by the people, to really give various angles to everything that's going on all across the city. If you could go to the next slide, that'd be great. So for those who don't know about Vingo, we basically do grassroots reporting. Basically, we take citizens from across the city of College Park and we train them to be what we call grassroots reporters, to really show what's going on from all across the city. As you know, there's a lot of things that are going on in Ward 4 that do not get proper coverage. So we're doing something about that, and vice versa. There's a lot of things that happening in other wards, and the people in College Park don't really know what's happening across wards that well. So that's something that me and my team are trying to do. And go to the next slide. So basically, how we do this at Vingo. Well, one, let me say, in case you haven't been yet, please visit vingo.com/College Park. That's our front page for the city, where you can find all the latest stories on the city of College Park, whether it's from my team or any other news outlet talking about College Park in the state of Georgia. But anyways, to talk a little bit about how me and my team do it, the first thing is we really focus on cross-cultural authenticity, really ensuring that our reporters and the stories represent the people of the city, whether that's people from all backgrounds, people from different races, different age groups, everything, really to really encompass the picture that is College Park. And also, our reporting processes is completely transparent. You can check and see exactly how we're making our stories. Our process is open, and that's our way of really creating that local credibility to really show what's going on all across the city, and to make sure people really trust and know that they have a line of local information that's local to them, and that's all created by the people who live in the city too. And like I said before, our front pages are all about really informing you and giving you a comprehensive picture on what's going on in the city. So we aggregate all vetted sources that are all about College Park. And again, I ask you to visit vingo.com/College Park if you're, to stay updated on what's going on, and let us know what you think about it. And, like I said, our reporters all trained and vetted and verified in our reporting network. If you go to the next slide, please. So right now, it's a really exciting time for the Bengal team. We're actually expanding our coverage right now. And we really want to invite you, the people of College Park, the people of Ward 4 especially, to get involved. And there's different ways you can get involved. First is that we're building a community of storytellers. So if you or anyone you know just enjoys talking or sharing stories, we invite you to come, because we're really, like I said, trying to really encompass everything that's going on in College Park, and everyone has a very unique perspective to add. So we definitely, if you have even an ounce of interest in sharing stories, please reach out to us. Go to vingo.com. Just that we have options on how you can just sign up, or just find. We also have a feedback button at the bottom of our website, and you can just reach out to us. But yeah, join our community. Again, we train people and everything on how to be a storyteller. And a reporter. Also, if you don't want to quite be a reporter, but you're really passionate about the city of College Park or just things going on around Georgia, we ask that you refer a story, refer things that are going on, or refer a person. There's tons, like I said before, there's tons of things going on underrepresented, and tons of people who have interesting stories or interesting situations, especially with COVID going on and Black Lives Matter. So much happening. We ask that you refer those people to us so we can cover them and give them a profile. And also, just if there's a specific topic you want to know about, that's what our team's all about. It's all about giving you that granular, on the ground, grassroots coverage. So you feel free to request. We're here for the people. This whole platform is for the people. And if you can, one more time. And last but not least, just want to thank you for your time. And ask again, if you can, just sign up at vingo.com. And if you're on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, follow us at Vingo Stories, and really hope to hear from you. And I definitely can take a few questions if there's time.
Sure. Thank you so much, Blake. We really appreciate you being an advocate in our community. And I really am so impressed with Vingo. You have had some successful events within the community and adjacent communities, and this just speaks volumes. And I think everyone has a voice. So walk me through, or give me an example. Say if someone, young, old, wants to, have a concern about something, and they wish to make a video of it. How can they upload this through Vingo?
Yeah, so I can just go to vingo.com, and on our screen, on the front page, there's a request coverage or share or report a story, excuse me, and you can just upload it straight through there. And of course, if you know one of our members, so we could actually just you can just share it with us directly. We can come to you or whatever. And of course, like I said before in the presentation, we train people to be their reporters, so we can give you access to be able to upload the videos directly. And also on the College Park front page, vingo.com/College Park, there's a plus sign at the bottom. So like if you're scrolling through the videos and the stories and you don't quite see a story that you think needs to be covered, you can just go there, click on that, and let us know, and we'll hop on.
Awesome. That is incredible. And I just love the fact that it can be done instantaneously and we can involve our community. Continue the great work. We're praying for you. Thank you for all your support.
Thank you so much.
Your service. And that's a great segue into our next topic, which is see something, say something. Coming from our IT director, Michael Hicks. All of this that we are seeing tonight would not take place without Michael Hicks. And we thank you so much for supporting Ward 4, making this viable for our citizens. There was a time where, and I'm so grateful to Councilman Gay for inviting our late Congressman John Lewis, and his, model of see something, say something. And also he talked about at our town hall meeting, letting the budget reflect the services in a community. You should see, what the community has done through budget planning. But his See Something, Say Something has such a great impact on us. And I'm just looking so forward to hearing our IT director, Michael Hicks, discuss this new rollout system.
Sure. Folks, I am delighted. Actually, I'm excited that College Park is finally going to get a citizen response system. So what does this really mean to the citizen? You can be walking down Main Street, you see a tree limb on the sidewalk, you have several options. You can dial a phone number and report that issue. You could log into the app. The College Park going to have its own app where you can log into the app and report that concern, or you can also go to our website and put in a ticket. So we are making this available for the citizens, visitors, and the staff of College Park. So what I've done today is put together a simple presentation. It's going to walk you through how do we do that? Where can we do that? When can we do it? And who does it affect? So this is a simple presentation, and I'm going to go through it here in just a second.
Okay.
Let me go back and get this thing now. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay. So I really titled this Who, What, Where, When, and How. Who can send these alerts? Any citizen, staff, or visitor can place a concern on the system. What? Any concern ranging from trash, abandoned cars, overgrown grass, electrical wires, etc. Where? Anyone is located within all 4 of our wards, Ward 1, Ward 2, Ward 3, or Ward 4. When? You can do it 24/7. You can report a concern at 2 o'clock in the morning. You can report a concern at 10 o'clock at night. How? We're going to have an app by the name of iNotify. And iNotify is branded as the College Park app. And as like I said before, you have 3 choices. You can dial a phone number, you can log into the website, or you can launch the app. Right now, the app is in the test environment. We have been working through the system now for about 4 months. Our system is in the test environment. We're going to go live on the first week of November. So the system is in the test environment and our app is also in the test environment. We haven't released any of this to the public yet. All of the staff, all of the departments have been using the system. This system covers all of the enterprises, anything from public works, anything from our power department, our convention center, recreations, economic development, engineering, zoning, police department, fire department, and communications. Any of these departments have connectivity in that citizen response system. I mean, it's a great, great system. So this is an example of what the actual app is going to look like. These are just some Photoshops of, you see iNotify, you see our convention center in the background. And this is how the app is going to look on your phone. You see the iNotify with the College Park emblem here, and you see the app right here on this cell phone. You will simply launch that app. Once you click that app, this is what it's going to look like. Now, don't be alarmed by this picture, because we took a picture of the inside of the convention center and put it on this app. That's what you're looking at the top. And on the bottom, you see report an issue. Once you click report an issue, you will have access to all of the information to report your concern. Red light's not working. Stop sign is down in the street. Abandoned cars. Grass need to be cut. You can report that concern. We also put other links on here as well. You can click and go to our website. You can click here and go to our Facebook page. You can click here and go to our YouTube channel. And you can also go to our Twitter account. Now, we're going to change these later on down the road. Maybe put 911 here, or maybe put economic development. We're going to change these links. But to get it off the ground and working, These are the links that we wanted people to be able to see because we want transparency. We want collaboration with our citizens. Councilman Gay, do you still want me to demonstrate how to put in a ticket via the web, or do you want me to play the video?
The video.
Okay, all right. Again, our go live date, we've been in the test environment now for about 4 months. Again, we put in tickets from abandoned cars, trash, overgrown grass, strange people in the neighborhood, whatever it is, you can report a concern now. And we're planning on going live here pretty soon. Let me stop sharing because I want you guys to see what the video looks like here. Stand by. Can you guys see my screen?
No, Michael.
Okay, stand by 1 second. How about now?
Yes.
Okay. This is what our app is going to look like. This is going to be our public works team. Look over at the phone over to the right. It'll show your location. All of these concerns you can launch in our system. That was a kind of quick and dirty of what it looks like. But folks, we are moving in the right direction. College Park is on the map with its citizen response system. Clayton County has one, City of Atlanta has one, East Point have one, and now we have our own, and we're excited about it. And I'm open for any questions.
I mean, if I could get, I just want to give you a round of accolades, Michael. This is absolutely awesome. Thank you to you and your department for putting this app together. You know, there are no more excuses. You've taken out every excuse out the door. We have no more complaints when we have this awesome real-time capability to be able to report anything that impacts our community and our area. We thank you again for your wonderful work and great service. Thank you.
And Ms. Jefferson, if I might add before I conclude here, Councilman Gay has really been the catalyst in helping us promote this system because Councilman Gay looks at all of the deficiencies in his particular ward, and he's been requesting that we put these into the system so that we can keep reports on what we're completing, how many of things have been abandoned, and so on. So he's really been a catalyst for this system. So I've got to give him some kudos.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you again.
Sure.
And so now we're going to move forward with our video presentation of the utility grant from our College Park customer service representative.
I mean, yeah. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yes, but
Okay.
we see.
I'm Dania Anderson, grant administrator.
You don't see the screen, Michael.
You don't see the screen.
Assistance grant.
Okay, stand by.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you. Sorry about that. How about now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to start the video over. This is Miss Dania Anderson talking about the CDBG grant for utilities assistance.
Hi, I'm Dania Anderson, Grant Administrator for the College Park, Georgia Cares Utility Assistance Grant. Today, I will be bringing you informative and helpful tips about our Utility Assistance Grant application process. Clearly, we've all been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, and we wanted to bring some financial relief in the form of utility assistance after College Park's no disconnect moratorium was lifted on August 1st. The Utility Assistance Grant, which launched on September 1st, was secured to assist utility account holders who meet certain qualifications, such as reduced income, job loss related to COVID-19, or you may have just fallen on hard times. The assistance grant is available to Fulton County residents only and will not exceed $1,500. Now, the application process is pretty simple. You can submit a paper application or do it on the web. It's easy. Step 1, enter collegeparkga.com and under the government header, click on Utility Assistance COVID-19. Completely fill out all pages of the grant application. Make sure the applicant is the utility customer. You'll need to hit the send button when you're finished. Also, you'll need to scan and email all requested verification documents. Send them to cdbg@collegeparkga.com. Make sure to include all necessary documents, for any incomplete applications will not be processed. Now, if you wish to present a hard copy application, you can pick it up at City Hall, then complete it at home. We'll need copies of your original documents to complete the application process. Place those documents in a large envelope and address it to Grant Administrator. Then drop them off at City Hall. All grant awards will be directly applied to your utility account upon final approval by Fulton County. Now, if you're seeking more information, there's a frequently asked questions segment on the Utility Assistance website. Good luck and all the best during this difficult time.
Great. Thank you. That was very pertinent information that we definitely need due to the, several of our community residents have been impacted adversely by COVID-19. And so with the ability with this grant, definitely apply if you are behind in your utility bills. There was, in your last utility statement, there were a list of instructions that was included in there, and along with the income requirements. But definitely do your due diligence to obtain the application information and apply if needed. Next on our agenda, we welcome our new resident, Tangi Warrior.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Councilman Gay, for the invite. I have actually been, my name is Tangi Warrior, and I'm a realtor here in the area, and I have been a citizen for 30 plus years here. So I want to thank, yes, and thanks for the opportunity. And I also just wanted to welcome everyone that is here today on the call to the beautiful city of College Park.
Well, thank you very much, Tangi. We appreciate
Yes.
for joining us this evening and continuing to make a difference and be a community stakeholder in Ward 4.
Thank you.
Thank you once again. So now we will address any public comments from our residents. Let's see here. Let me see if I can pull them up from the Facebook Live page. Let's see. So our first question is, are there, wait, I just lost it. Okay, our first question is, are there any ideas about our youth summer jobs in College Park? Councilman Gay? Can you hear me?
Councilman Gay, you're on mute.
I'm sorry about that. Our director went back into a meeting, but that's a question for her that I can't answer correctly. So we would have to follow back up on Facebook with a better answer.
Okay. There's another question. They said citizen has a concern. Speed breakers are not effective on Lakeshore Drive. Cars are still speeding down Lakeshore Drive. Any update in regards to?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, their mayor and council has voted to add approximately 3 to 4 more speed breakers on Lakeshore, because they are right that one is not totally doing the job, because that's a long streak. So there is plans for several more to be added, hopefully in the next 3 months.
Okay, great. So I don't see any questions in the chat. So some other PA announcements, definitely, the hot topic issue. Tonight actually is the last day to complete your census. So if you have not completed it, or if you know others who within your family who have not completed, please go tonight and log on and complete your census. Secondly, in reference to the voting, we know that the GICC is open now for early voting to October 30th. I think the time is from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So please do your due diligence to voice your concern by voting in our upcoming election. Also, in reference to, I think I just received something else from the chat. Hold on one moment. Okay, I know that was it. Okay, and then also we do know, that the CDC had requirements as far as Halloween, and we are a community that are following the CDC regulations. But as we do know that there may be some children, individuals that may take part, all I would say is that we practice the CDC guidelines in being safe. Continue to wear our mask and our gloves to keep ourselves safe. If we do, there's some tips. If you do decide to pass out candy to friends or relatives, wear your gloves with preparing the candy. A good tip is providing the candy in a Ziploc bag so that they don't have to be passed out individually. But overall, let's practice safety and keep our residents and children safe. I'm gonna check once again for any more public comments, but I think that was it from what I have seen. Let's see. Yes, that's it. So thank you everyone again for joining us for our virtual town hall meeting. Again, I commend our Councilman Roderick Gay. I always, I like to give people their flowers while they're living. And I always appreciate him for all his dedicated service and his commitment to our community. We are truly blessed to have a councilman who lives within our ward. We see him and his family, we can wave to them in the yard as they're working in their yard. And it's just beautiful to be blessed to have a councilman who's so dedicated to us. And also it's just, we're easily able to access him when we need him. So we truly continue to appreciate you and for everything that you do, Councilman Gay.
Thank you. Well, I would like to just give closing comments, and I would like to also reiterate on what Ms. Jefferson said. I want to thank all of the hosts tonight, our board director for Fulton County, Kimberly Dove, She has been the woman for these uncertain times. So I'm glad that she's put in this position because this is certainly a time where we need her leadership. So thank you, Ms. Dove. I want to be real brief. We do have a couple minutes and I want to come back and just ask her something about, well, I can ask you now, but just I'm gonna ask you and then I'm gonna finish these quick comments, but I do have a question for our board director. I also wanted to acknowledge that remarkably, all of our hosts tonight, with the exception of our board director, is from Ward 4 or live in Ward 4. Our IT director was raised in Ward 4.
Wow.
Michael, he's
Right.
a Ward 4 son. Blake Stone is my son. He's a Ward 4, went to Morehouse, Columbia, and now he's back in College Park, having traveled the world. So I'm impressed that he want to come home and we have his talent. That's remarkable. Tangi was actually introducing the new members because she has lived here a while, but she's also left. We both went to the same college. She has a remarkable family, her mom's, her son, Pastor Dent, who a former First Lady of College Park. She's also will be celebrating about, Pastor Dent is what, 30 years of service in November. And one thing about Pastor Dent is, as political and partisan as local government can be, she always puts community first. So that is a remarkable character that I would like to thank her for. And that's why she's often invited back to the Zoom. And our police officer, our Lieutenant Wilson, is a Ward 4 son. He was born and raised in Ward 4, and his mother lived in Ward 4. So I said, I guess tonight it just, with the exception of our board director, it just turned out to be a Ward 4 night, and I'm honored. A couple quick things. The splash pad is going to be at the top of the Phillips Park. I'm pushing to try and help get this thing done soon. Let's give it another few months, and hopefully this summer our children will have a remarkable time. The utility grant, we want to thank Fulton County leadership, Chairman Rob Pitts, and through the CARES Act, we were able to get those monies to pay for those people who are challenged with their utilities. Our utilities have gone up a little bit. I've been getting a lot of calls about it, but I want the residents to know that during COVID, I sponsored an action that stayed any disconnection to the tune of 1.2 million. So we did stop connections, but we got to try and get revenue so that we can continue giving you great services. I do have a question for our board. I want to just ask one more thing. I want to thank the mayor and council because, as Brother Stanley Muhammad said, who is also raised in Ward 4, went to the Lakeshore High School, so and lives in Ward 4. So I want to thank him for always being transparent and having tenacity to just say what God has given him to say. He's raising his beautiful family here in our ward. So he lives, works, and plays in Ward 4. So I just want to thank him for that. As Ms. Jefferson said, I'm available 24/7. If you need me for anything, all you simply have to do is call. In closing, the question I had is there, because on our agenda, there was a conversation about a possible, I don't know, you have to correct me, either a middle school to high school or kindergarten to 8th grade that Fulton County may be constructing or building. Can you just elaborate on what's going on? Because I know y'all had an exciting board meeting.
Okay, I heard part of your question. Was it about Fulton County Schools adding a K-8 model to our buildings?
Yes,
And okay.
because yeah, that's exactly right. And in part two of that question is, one of the things that I've been passionate about, raising three children here in College Park, and I have two, I have a 10th grader and a 12th grader now. And we're building the 6 West with 1.8 billion. Schools are important. Is it any conversation that possibly those models could, or that model could be put in College Park?
So right Yeah, absolutely. So let me explain what the KA model is. When we hired Dr. Looney, we reached out to him to make sure that he could help some of our schools in certain communities. And through that, in the city of College Park, Hapeville, and in East Point, when we were looking at replacing a building, what he looked at was how can we create a model that's different than what we've done before, right? We want to create a model that will keep our students in one building, keep our parents in one building, and create a community feel to that particular school, which will open the school up for community events. And it could be a central point in that. So we're having a community as well as the educational value there. So Dr. Looney presented us with an opportunity to implement a K-8 model, but it's very, very expensive. So what we were able to do was take a look at some of the properties that we were looking to expand, and through that, try to create a K-8 model in that apRENA. And that just happened right now to be in the cities of East Point and in Hapeville because of the SPLOST dollars assigned to that particular building. So with that, the studies show that if a student is in a school K-8, it can help the community. It can say, hey, in your $1 million investments, we have a property that will help our students not be as transient, help them be as stable, and people would want to come to that model because the studies show that the transition between middle school, elementary, and middle is very hard. But having them in one building, that would be able to do that. Now, as it relates to College Park, we would have to see, right? Again, we would have to have the land available to expand into a KA model, and what would that look like, and if the community would want that. We're starting off possibly with that in Hapeville and in East Point right now.
Okay. Well, on that note, I would like to wish everyone a good night. And I really want to thank you all for your time and your talent and your passion. I don't have anything else. Good night from Councilman Gay.
All right,
Good
Councilman
night.
Gay, great
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you.
All right, good night.